Okay, start streaming. I have my laptop in front of me so I can see if I've got this down. It's my first stream in a very, very, very long time. What does it sound like? Oh my god, wait, I'm actually live. Oh my god, that's crazy. Hey y'all, millionaire, normal people, billionaire. Hello, can you hear me or is it bad? Oh my god, wait, I'm actually live. Oh my god. Wait, people are saying I'm muted. Hey. How am I muted if I can hear myself? Hello. Y'all are liars. I can hear myself. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Brighton. Welcome to Brighton. I have officially moved back to Brighton, and this is our new filming setup. What do we think? I spent an obnoxiously long amount of time on this. Like an obnoxiously long time. People are asking where the pink mic is. Honestly, the pink mic kind of gives me trauma from the Chronically Online tour. So once I finished that tour, I dumped that pink mic cover. Oh, it's only in one ear. I think I know how to fix that. Properties, defaults. Oh, wait. Hold on. Advanced audio properties. Mono, I think it is. Mono. Okay, is it fixed now? I think you should be able to hear me in both. You can hear me in both now, right? Hold on. I think I fixed it. Advanced audio properties. Mono, I think it is. You can hear me in both now? You can. Jesus, how quick I fixed that. Okay, let me also fix it on here just to make sure. Oh, I think it's already fixed. And then let me...
Hi, guys.
And look at that. You can now hear the videos as well. I've spent so long trying to fix this. Hold on, I'm going to try... Jesus, how quick I fixed that. Okay, let me also... I just want to see how this hears. Wait. To make sure. Oh, I think it's already fixed. Hold on. And then let me...
Hi,
Guys!
guys.
Guys! This is the first time in ever doing YouTuber streaming that I've been able to work out how to have the audio from my computer also playing simultaneously instead of having to do this every 2 minutes. God. Anyways, hello. Thank you all so much for being here. We are going to be reacting to Trisha Paytas' new video in which she talks a lot about opening up about her pregnancy and her birth and basically about the 3 back-to-back C-sections. And I've seen a lot of people telling me that in this she kind of addresses the situation that has been going on with people weirdly talking about her fertility. So I'm excited to get into everything. Someone said, are you in a closet? You would think, well, not anymore, but you would think so. But my new apartment, first of all, my new apartment, I am obsessed. I am so happy. Like, first of all, God bless, but I'm so happy to be out of America. And number 2, I'm so happy to be back in Brighton. Number 3, I had 2 weeks to find an apartment and I found the most perfect apartment. And I'm so happy with it. And it has an entire room that was empty. And I'm turning it into a filming room. So half of it is going to be where I film my videos. And then the other half is going to be where me and Neve film the podcast. But this is not a closet. It just has an indent for a bed, which is perfect because I don't need a bed. I put my desk here. I put my computer here and I have this. So before we get in, I'm now reading the chat. Hi, Trish Crave. Do y'all love... Or do you, I'm not even going to allow you the option to hate the wall because it took me so long. Do you know I chose every image over the course of 2 weeks on Pinterest, on Tumblr, and I was so serious about this. Like, I clocked the fuck in and I handpicked everything. I ripped some things out of magazines, out of albums, printed out some of my favorite moments. And I haven't gone to bed yet. It is currently 4:30 p.m. and I have not gone to bed since yesterday. I pulled an all-nighter to move all of my stuff into the apartment, and I just never went back to bed. And that is why I have a huge Red Bull in front of me. But I wanted to go live because I wanted to watch this video, number one, but I have plans with my friend Miranda later, and if I don't live stream, I will fall asleep. So, cheers, everyone. Where's Alexa Nicholas? Probably going crazy on Twitter. Do y'all remember, you can clearly hear I'm tired. Who do we know on the wall? Someone gave me this at a show. I can't remember which show, and I promised that I was going to keep it. By the way, I can't wait to show you my cupboards. I have kept every single thing that anyone has ever given me at a show, and it's the only decor across all of my apartment right now. But who are we recognizing? I'm loving, there's a lot of Miss Piggy, love. Miss Piggy and Dolly Parton, love. We have Rise, Charlie XCX, Beyonce, we have Hyunjin, we have Taylor, we have Mariah, we have Lorde, we have Chapel, we have Selena, we have Lana, we have Miss Piggy again, we have Ariana, we have Taylor, we have Stray Kids, we have Felix, we have Jenny, we have Dolly Parton holding a gun, we have me and my parents wearing our I Heart Mucker shirts. This was us in Chicago. Here's me and my parents in Sir. Alex Russo, love. Bunch of Madonna. I love this Wendy Williams photo so much. Kai, love Kai so much. I love this. I think this Miss Piggy photo is my favorite of all time. You're saying, where is Felix? Felix is there. He's here somewhere. I honestly, I did this 2 hours ago and I forget who I put up. But I had a lot of photos. So I'm glad that y'all love it. Anyways, cheers, everyone. And also, really exciting news is finally, after, 7 months, I'm finally in the process of getting Bonnie and Dolly back to Brighton. And I'm so excited for that. So I'm just ordering everything for them right now. Hi, Madonna. Welcome to Brighton. Cheers, everyone. Where's the stolen phone? I don't need to be reminded of that. You know my phone is now in Shenzhen. Do you know where Shenzhen is? It's where they sell the fucking phones. My phone location has updated. It's in fucking Shenzhen, China. That's where they sell the phones. They got my ass good. 4 days ago in fucking Shenzhen. Look at that. There she is. Being fucking stole. I'm so tired. Sold. Felix is behind your elbow. Oh, yeah, we have Felix here as well. I love this Felix. Me and Kat, me and Neve, Madonna, Bonnie and Dolly. There's a lot of Bonnie and Dolly on the wall. Me and Mariah, Selena. Who else do we have up here? There's a lot going on. I love it. I can't wait for Ethan to look at all my K-pop on the wall and say what he said last time. It's BTS. Also, I'm really excited. Tomorrow, me and Neve are filming the first episode of the podcast, and then it is going to come out on Thursday. And I can confirm you will hear everything about the tour, and you will hear everything about X1. I'd been going back and forth in it the last couple days, but ultimately, what better time than now? So you will hear everything about the tour on Thursday, the first episode of the podcast, and I can't wait for the ramifications that will come after that. In my contract, it says I'm not allowed to speak negatively about the company, or else obviously they'll sue me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak about things that happened, and that's not speaking bad about the company. That's just things that they did. Right? So prepare for that. This Thursday is in 2 days. It's going to be video. It's going to be on my YouTube. And there we go. Don't speak negative, just speak truth. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say what happened. And then if they don't like it, well, they shouldn't have done it. Duh. It feels so good to be filming in like a setup. Oh, there'll be a disclaimer. Are you going to talk about Olivia walking out of H3? I mean, I kind of talked about it. It's on a members only stream, so like obviously I can't react to it or anything like that. The podcast is going to be every Thursday. Every Thursday. So I'm excited for that. Me and Eve are really excited for it. Sally is not on the wall. That one was too hard. That one was too hard for me to do, if I'm being honest. Kat and Eve have met. They met like last week, which is crazy. It's like last week. Everyone, before we get into it again, if possible, we are really close to 5,000, and 5,000 was like my ultimate goal to hit on the Instagram account for me and Neve. Before we even we haven't even uploaded any episodes, which is crazy. If you are watching right now and haven't followed the Instagram account, the first episode will be up in literally a couple days. Please go follow. I have the little live count here. We are so close to 5,000 followers. Please click the link. It is or the @Adam and Eve podcast. Please go and follow. We are really close to 5,000. And I'm really excited for it. But anyways, the Tortured Muckers department loved. You left your Adam at the. Wait, I saw a tweet and it was like, oh God, what was it? It was something about like, don't cry, like something Dubai or something like that. My God, normal people. Oh my God, who remember? So on my last episode, I showed that my my like fixation right now is this woman on TikTok who like does like Dubai propaganda, and she like ranks things and she goes like normal people, millionaires, billionaires. Someone recreated her video and it is one of my favorite fucking things I have ever seen in my entire life. I find it so fucking funny. I want to show you it really quickly and then we'll get into the Trisha thing. Finally seeing a live. Well, thank you for being here. And thank you to the mods as well. I know this was completely unplanned. The lore wall is billionaire, normal people, billionaire. Wait, so let me show you. Please go follow the account, by the way. Okay, so this is her as we remember, right? Where she like ranks things. Millionaire. Wait.
Harry Potter.
Normal people,
Shoe dog.
billionaires,
Meditations.
millionaires.
Okay, so someone recreated the video and it's so fucking funny. I need to show you. Love it. Wait.
Labubu.
Normal people.
Dubai chocolate Labubu.
Millionaire.
24 karat gold Labubu.
Billionaire.
Ice latte.
Normal people.
Ice matcha latte.
Millionaire.
Strawberry ice matcha latte.
Billionaire.
Crumble cookie.
Millionaire.
Crumble cookie Dubai chocolate.
Millionaire.
Benson Boon Moonbeam ice cream crumble cookie.
Billionaire.
The viral Labubu crumble cookie Dubai chocolate Stanley Cup matcha latte.
Trillionaire.
Labubu.
Normal people.
Oh my God, let me just make sure you can still hear this. Wait.
Crumble cookie.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Trillionaire. Oh my God, I need people like people keep doing it. It's so funny.
Шоколадзе,
Millionaire.
Пидина Иванишвили.
Billionaire.
The Dubai propaganda on Instagram is crazy. There's also this other guy where he like answers everything and he's like, Dubai, of course. Dubai, of course. Of course, Dubai. Wait, let me find it. I'm like so obsessed with Dubai propaganda TikTok right now. Dustin, thank you. Wait, here he is. Here's the other one.
Best city in the world for investments.
Of course, Dubai.
The most stable currency.
Of course, Dubai.
What is your name?
Of course, Dubai.
Best taxes in the world.
Of course, in Dubai.
The safest city in the world.
Of course, Dubai.
Best city for living with family.
Of course, Dubai.
Best city for entrepreneur.
Of course, Dubai.
How old are you?
Of course, 44 in Dubai.
This is just crazy.
Best food.
Italy.
Best car.
Germany, of course.
Best technology.
Germany, of course.
China.
Best watches.
Switzerland.
Best education.
UK.
Best nature.
New Zealand.
Best beaches.
Maldives.
Best nightlife.
Spain.
Best chocolate.
Belgium.
Best real estate.
Dubai, of course.
Best food.
Italy.
Dubai, of course. All right, let's get into this damn Trisha video. Again, one last time, if you're not following the Neve and or the Adam and Neve podcast Instagram account, please go follow it. We are so close to 5,000. It would be so dope to hit that before the first episode went up on Thursday. Thank you to everyone going over and following. Adam and Neve podcast. Normal people. Billionaire. All right, let's get to this Trisha video. Trillionaire. So again, I really wanted to watch this because I've seen clips where she's talking about the speculation about her fertility, I think, which again, so weird. But let's get to it. Let's get to it. Billionaire. Normal people. Trillionaire. Tortured Muckers Department, Dubai. Millionaire. Billionaire. It's so bad. There's two things that I'm like having these like vocal moments where I can't stop. It's doing that, like normal people, or billionaire, or going, yes, from Cat's Eye. Is it Laura? Yes. Oh my God. Trillionaire. I just got a comment on Instagram. Trillionaires right here. No golden labubus needed. And y'all think I don't have notifications on for Instagram. Is she in an Arby's parking lot? Probably. Trillionaire. Normal people. Billionaire. Trisha Paytas. Mukbang. Billionaire. All right, let's get to this.
Old school vlog here. We're in the car. I'm checking my surroundings. I'm getting hot mozzarella sticks from Arby's. Like, life is good.
She
I've
is
already
in the Arby's
eaten
parking
tubes. I
lot.
did a TikTok before. Hi guys, how are you?
Pretty
Reporting
good,
at you.
Trish.
12 days postpartum for my third.
Oh, she sped up. I just realized I can't understand Trisha when she sped up. Also, it's like crazy to me. Like, I can't imagine going through postpartum in general. I think like people that are getting pregnant, like, I think you're incredible. Like, and people don't take into consideration enough that people do go through postpartum. But it's crazy. I couldn't imagine going through postpartum and like the entire internet is talking about like your baby being reincarnated as Ozzy Osbourne. I've got to give her props. I feel like I would go crazy.
And final baby. I got my tubes tied. I'm going to do a whole story time on that. Why I chose to get my tubes tied. Why my body. And it's not for the reasons you think. It's not just birth control, permanent birth control. Okay, there's like way more serious health effects. And I should give a little trigger warning for this, that my third labor and delivery, yes, I labored and delivered. My water broke, which is extremely rare. My labor and delivery was very traumatic. So if you're not looking for a traumatic birth story, if you're like pregnant or
This is giving me war flashbacks to the last time she did this. Who remembers the last time Trisha did one of these videos? Trillionaire. Normal people. This is the last time that Trisha did a video where she talked about her postpartum. Where is it? Oh, has it been deleted? Trillionaire. Normal. Oh, it's been deleted, of course.
Okay, guys.
This was the last time.
Here, Trisha Paytas, the queen herself, is in my.
This was the last time Trisha did one of these videos. I don't know if anyone remembers that. And what's even crazier is I remember her reacting to this. This was like in the midst of them doing the podcast, I think, or maybe just before.
And then my doctor was like, his cord's coming out, we gotta go.
Remember the entire time when Colleen was like, I did my pregnancy better than Yuri. Trillionaire. Normal people.
you're scared of birth or anything, don't watch this, because I didn't. My first, all my three, I never would watch. I would always skip if there was a traumatic birth experience. So I'm telling you right now, my third one is very traumatic. So you can just like skip this video. If you want to hear the first two parts, I can tell you, like, I'm going to recap my first labor and delivery. My second daughter, I did a scheduled season.
I also really like when people talk about their experiences with giving birth as well, because I think it's not talked about enough how dangerous giving birth in general is. And I just think having conversations around it is incredibly important.
And then my third one, my water broke. I was 34, 36, and 37 when I had my children. So they're all very different, and those ages are very important.
A damn mozzarella stick.
But I'm getting little mozzarella sticks. Our house is like chaos right now. So my wonderful husband was like,
Her face looked tea as fuck here.
Our oldest daughter Malibu out to like play at like Barnes and Noble and stuff like that. And I was like home with the baby. So then we like switched. I had my mom there.
Moses is taking Malibu out to play in Barnes and Nobles? Isn't that a fucking library? Hey. If she enjoys playing with books, then she's a much smarter kid than what I was. I was playing with like plastic food, pretending to be a cashier.
Well,
Me as a child, normal people. Malibu Barbie as a child, billionaire.
But it's just like very chaotic. So he's like, if you want to go film, because I really wanted to do these birth stories while they were fresh in my head, because I don't think I did one for Albus, my second daughter.
Girl, there's no cheese pull there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is like, if you're just like not interested in labor and delivery or like labor story times or birth story times.
Barnes and Noble's a bookstore, not a library. Sorry. Shit me. Shit me. Shoot me. I do love a Barnes and Noble's though. I got really high in... Where was I? Where was I where I got like outrageously high? And I like spent like genuinely 3 hours in a Barnes and Noble. Was it San Diego? I don't know. It was one of them. And my God, I had the time of my life. I'm like, Malibu, I get it. I get it, girl.
Like,
oh, it has a play area for kids.
It's just my world in my brain right now, and there's that. But I had a baby about 12 days ago, July 12th. My third baby, my first boy, Aquaman, Moses Paytas Haxman, was born.
Never gets less
I'm like
shocking.
in a really popular parking spot. I mean, in an Arby's, but for some reason, there's a lot of people parking around here, which makes sense because they're gonna go to eat. But I'm not used to being around people because I haven't left my house in literally 12 days.
Ugh, I miss the American drinks. They were so large.
I'm like excited to be out, I guess. I've been in a baby bubble. So I'm gonna just recap quickly. My first two, I did do a birth story, I believe, on my first Malibu Barbie, born 2022 at 34 years old. A little bit of background. I was infertile. I struggled with like fertility.
Okay, I didn't know if she was immediately going to address it. Also, isn't it crazy how Malibu Barbie and Elvis, like, as time has gone on, it's like, those names seem incredibly normal to me now. Honestly, give it a couple weeks and I'll be like, I was gonna call my baby Aquaman. High in a bookstore. Normal people. Yeah, I really, really, really miss the portion sizes of drinks in America. The food, I wasn't obsessed with the food portions because they kind of put me off a little bit, but the size of your cups and drinks, specifically at fast food places, the big gulpers, goodness me. Now, anyways, I, like I said, had seen clips of Trisha addressing the infertility or whatever. And we obviously know, we talked about it on my YouTube a couple days ago, that Ethan had made a video, or not a video, sorry, like on his podcast, he, in addressing that there was a new family member for him, his new nephew, he basically started saying about how Trisha lied about her fertility. She takes away from real people having actual problems. And it seemed to me like a low dig in terms of like trying to get someone who is probably going through postpartum and probably feeling very low to like respond to, maybe in years past has had a tendency to respond to things. And I'm surprised she's addressing it, but honestly, it's something so deeply personal that of course as a person you would want to address it, but it's unfortunate she has to.
And I was infertile for literally like probably 14 years. I think 22 is when I actively was like trying to get pregnant. And I've told this before, and look, I have no shame in these videos, okay? I know there's a lot of reasons for people to shame me or judge me, whatever, at this point, like, whatever, you know? But I was very actively, more or less, trying to get pregnant, sometimes with relationships, sometimes not even. I just really, really wanted a baby, and to me, it wasn't even about the guy. It was just kind of like, if I got pregnant, I wouldn't even tell. Maybe I would tell the person, maybe I wouldn't, depending on who the situation was. But, you know, that was the mentality of me at 20 years old. Obviously, not right, not mature, but that was what I was actually thinking. I just really wanted a baby, and I was just kind of like, how it happens. I was always very honest about not being on birth control. There were times where I would try being on birth control, and but I was always very honest. And I was like, and towards the later 20s, early 30s, I'm like, I can't do birth control. It's not for me. So it was never a trap situation. It takes two to make a baby, right? Anyways.
What? Say what?
I had chlamydia that I left twice, that I left. It was basically undiagnosed for like a year. So it sat in my body, it scarred up my tubes. It was really bad. I had two different
Wow, I didn't realize she was going to be going like as in depth. Like, she's talked about all these things many times before. I really didn't think she was going to like properly address it.
I guess ultrasounds, I guess that's what it is, that are like, you know, your tubes are really scarred. It's actually like going to be hard for you to have a baby. Once I got into like different relationships where I was like, you know, maybe I want a baby and all stuff like that, they're just like, you know, like you could do, that's when I first found out about the HSG test. I was like 31, 30 or something like that, and they're like, yeah, your tubes are really scarred. When I was younger, the HSG test is a test that like shoots like liquid through your uterine, I don't know, something like that.
Science.
It's a test for infertility, but also like clears out your tubes. 95% of women like get pregnant out of it. Like, anyways, that's how I got pregnant with my first two. But yeah, up until then, like, couldn't. I actually tried it in another relationship, the HSG test, and it like didn't work. I didn't get pregnant. So again, I always believe in timing. I know not everybody wants to hear that, especially on a fertility journey, but I do believe God had timing for me, that he's like, actually wait, because I could not imagine having kids with anyone else other than my husband, especially now because my husband is like literally the best father in the whole world. He's so good. Haters would love to be like, oh, he's the mother, he's the nanny, he's the manny. No, he's just like a really amazing father. Sorry about your luck. But so the scarring of my tubes came from chlamydia that was left untreated for a long time. I was kind of like, okay, well, you know, it was hard for me to get pregnant. Again, I would have loved to have been, but it wasn't like working.
Girl, that cheese is chunky AF. Damn. What the fuck? What the fuck? Look at that cheese. Cheese is generous. Why is there a chunk in it? Girl, why is there a fucking chunk in it? I don't like that. I'm such a fucking liar. I like this kind of cheese. Cheese. When it comes in like a Taco Bell, please. Do you know, I'm going to admit something so fucking gross. And if you're a longtime mucker, you'll know this. When I used to go to America when I was like 18, 19, I kind of stopped it at like 20. I would genuinely go into a CVS during the first day of my trip, and I would buy this squeezy cheese that you would get in a can, and I would buy crackers, and I would literally live off of that the entire trip so I didn't have to like spend money on going out to dinner. What the fuck? What the fuck? How gross is that? How fucking disgusting is that? Goodness.
Yeah, for me, so I was just going hog wild basically. And I was like, well, I won't ever like have kids. That wasn't my mentality. I met my husband. We were trying for kids before we got married. Nothing was working. When we got married, my husband was like, let's, you know, I told him about the HSG test. He's like, let's go, let's try it. Boom. Got pregnant right away. Amazing. My second, we were just kind of
I also think it's important to note, and I loved the comments on my video where I made about Ethan talking about Trisha. A lot of people were saying as well, just because you're having issues with your fertility doesn't mean that you can't give birth. And actually, statistically, if you give birth, you're more likely, or it's easier to get pregnant again. A lot of people were commenting as well. I just can't believe we're even having this conversation. I think like let's not be too invasive, if anything. I feel like, again, I spoke about this. I feel like over the years, I've learned a lot more boundaries and things that I should add commentary towards, and I've learned my lesson a lot of times. And I think this topic specifically, like, I've grown out of having to, like, dive deeper into it because I think it's just incredibly invasive.
For like a year, and then around the year mark, I was like, try the HSG test again because I was 35 at that point, and my husband was 45, and we're like, we just want to get our 2 babies, you know, I guess like out of the way, you could say, just because I was getting older and he's getting older, and we're just like, let's just have them back to back because, you know, we're older parents. And it took a few more months. It was the 3rd cycle I got pregnant. Amazing. We really were like fine at 2, maybe in the back of my head and his head, we're like maybe 3, if like one time down. Oh my God,
wait. Mom, are you watching? Oh my God. That makes me so sad but so happy. Damn. If you're watching who just messaged me, I will text you right after. If you're seeing this, sorry, someone just texted me. I will text you right after. I'm equally sorry but happy for you at the same time. I will text you right after if you're seeing this. But my God. Whoa. Yikes. Okay, moving on.
The line, maybe at 40, I don't know. We'll get pregnant, we'll see. I had 2 baby names that I always loved, which was Malibu Barbie and Elvis. Elvis was like, obviously you think of Elvis as a boy name. I thought, okay, a boy and a girl. But when we had our second daughter, I was like, bingo, she's Elvis. If we never have another baby, we're blessed with these 2. We got Malibu Barbie and Elvis. You're good.
Those 2 names sound so normal to me now.
Then I have my wonderful Elvis. 3 months later, we can have sex again. It's like 6 weeks, but I was.
Oh my God, girl, time and place.
My husband's birthday or something because we're tired, right? We have 2. We're working full time. Tired, but what, you know, my husband's birthday, I was like, heck yeah, let's get it in. I even look at the ovulation calendar, and I'm so far from ovulation, like literally so far, and I was like, period, because I had Christmas shows, I had a tour scheduled.
Girl, fucking time and place. Jesus. What the fuck? It was his birthday, so I was just like, get it in. Oh. Girl, spare the details. Fucking hell. Crazy.
I'm like, maybe in 2026 we'll try and get pregnant or something, you know, tracking ovulation, that kind of
I hate when people talk about trying to get pregnant. I'm like, you just talking about raw
I'm
fucking.
pregnant. 3 months after, both times were a C-section, okay? Malibu Barbie was a C-section. I pushed. We waited till 39 weeks.
And you did it in an Arby's parking lot.
Early. My water kind of broke. Not like it did this last time. I went to the bathroom. I thought I felt a gush. I wasn't sure. Now having my water broke this time, that gush was my water breaking. It just wasn't as intense as this last time. But there was a gush. I was like, Then I started feeling light period cramps. It ended up being contractions. We waited a couple hours before we went to the hospital. This time we did not wait. I was contracting. Took them like hours to get me an epidural to check in, get an epidural. Also, like,
Aiden Trish Crave wrote, not her getting pregnant the day before I met her.
that I was in so much pain. I was like, I hate contractions so much. It actually is the worst thing ever. But of course, you get your beautiful baby, you forget about it. And you're like,
that damn mozzarella
do it again. But I pushed for 4 hours, like 3, I guess. Nurses were changing shifts, coming in. My baby was stuck and no one's telling me, so my doctor comes in and like, you gotta do a C-section after pushing for 3 hours. I'm glad I got to experience the pushing. I had the epidural, so it was pretty it's like everyone says, it feels like you have to go to the bathroom. It's pressure, but it wasn't like painful. But again, my baby wasn't coming out. So they had to do a C-section. 3 hours of pushing, a C-section took 5 minutes.
You see that? like, mothers are superheroes. Like, the fact that that is so normalized after like 3 hours of pushing, and I know that like people go like days of pushing. Like, I would just give up. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I don't even want the baby anymore. Like, this is pissing me off. You know what I mean? That's insane. And also the like pain in that is, ooh.
Minutes and the baby was out. I was like, well, that was easy. I know, look, these sections are not easy, especially this last one. This last one traumatized me again. But C-section first time, easy. I was like, damn, why don't we do this the first time? They were able to give me whatever medication, like fentanyl, whatever. It was great. I didn't feel anything wonderful. The baby was out of me. I was just so low. Ooh, I was high. I was super high the first time. Second time I was scheduled C-section because vaginal birth after C-section, the VBAC can be dangerous for some. One thing I need to preface this by saying I'm not a doctor. Google, the world will tell you, you know.
Obsessed with Google or the world will tell you.
You shouldn't have more than 3 C-sections. C-sections are very risky. Your uterine lining gets very thin. It's risky for the mom. It's risky for the baby, okay? C-sections are high risk.
Scary.
This is my second C-section, but it was about 18 months apart, so I thought, I was like, you know, I don't know, you just didn't think. I'm like, it's 2, it's fine, I'm still relatively young. Didn't think anything of it. Now with my second, like, we're gonna do a planned C-section. Beautiful. She makes it. Usually planned C-sections are a week before a due date. You can usually pick the date, pick the time. I recommend going first. You want to be the first on that operating table before it gets chaotic.
I'm obsessed with being able to choose your baby's birthday. I kind of like the idea of
prep
that.
at 7, have the baby by 8:15 a.m. I felt the spinal tap more because I wasn't in pain, so I was just more, I could feel it more. They do numb it. It's all 3 of my experiences with a spinal tap / epidural weren't traumatic. It was actually the least of the trauma of the birth. The first one I didn't feel because I was in so much pain from the contractions. I felt like you could have done anything to me, and I've been like, I don't care. These contractions are the worst pain ever. Nothing could be this bad, and it was true. Second time, I felt like the motions more of a spinal tap going in. I felt the pressure. They do numb it. You do feel pressure. They missed a few times too. On my second one, and I was like gonna pass out. I was like, I think this is not good. I felt like ticking and cricking in there, and I was like, oh. And then this last one they did get like first try again. Okay, so let's fast forward now. We're in the third one. I'm getting pregnant 3 months after my second C-section.
Wait, she got pregnant 3 months after she had Elvis? Girl, that is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy.
And I was like, I knew the rules. I looked this up.
I didn't know it was that soon. Wasn't she on tour during this as well?
3 C-sections are risky. 3 C-sections in 3 years. My doctor was very sweet, and he was trying to play it cool. He's like, don't worry, if this happens, like, you're gonna be fine. Like, he was, I love him. Shout out to Dr. Grossman. I love Dr. Grossman. I wish I could 5-star Yelp reviews, and I'll say it because, you know,
obsessed
he's
with a
just
Yelp
the best.
review.
And if you're looking for a good doctor, recommend him. He's amazing. He's so casual about everything. In the best way. He just makes you feel relaxed. He's like, don't worry. This happens. Life happens. I was like, perfect. So I wasn't worried about it. I was like, I mean, like, literally kind of worried in the back of my head, but what can I do now? There is a baby in me. And we did, by the way, dear baby Aquaman, we did 1 1/3. Okay? We knew. We're like, we both knew how hard it was to have our 2 babies. It didn't come just so naturally. So, you know, we obviously were like open to the idea of a third. And if we weren't, we would have taken the precautions, but not that quickly. But again, timing, I do believe in timing. He was meant to be here. I was like, yes. He came on tour with me. He was on Broadway with me. He was on SNL with me. This baby was amazing. So we met Gerard Way together. So let's talk about my birth story time now. Third one.
Oh God.
Baby Aquaman. Superhero baby, I'm telling you. So my original due date was July 29th. They moved it up to like July 26th. The day that My Chemical Romance was supposed to be in LA, or are going to be in LA. And guys, I was like, I'm not going to be able to make it to that one.
Her fuming because she can't make the
We
concert.
started the C-section for the 18th because it was a week early. And I was like, perfect. With Elvis, we really thought Elvis was going to come early. She didn't. And I was like, okay. So with this one, I kind of felt, I was like, okay, I feel like Aquaman is coming early, but I felt that with Elvis, so I'm not going to like whatever, worry about it. I had stuff planned, you know, we had stuff ready for the next week. We didn't have anything like packed or anything for the hospital, but we had like the week planned basically. People coming up to stay with our kids, help during the day, all that stuff. 7-Eleven, July 11th.
Oh, I thought she was talking about the actual 7-Eleven.
Chilling. I've been in pain now. That last week of before I gave birth, that week of July 11th.
July 11th, also known as the Tortured Muckers Department in New York City.
Couldn't breathe, couldn't eat, couldn't sit up. I was so uncomfortable. And I would say this is like the last few weeks. Look, I did a whole tour with this baby. I felt really like invincible, but the last few weeks, but that last week I was like, I honestly don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I'm going to make it to my due date. Like I can't breathe. Like I don't, you know. So we went and did all our doctor's appointments that final week and everything looked good. And like, you're good. So July 11th, we're in the pool. I think we watched a movie. I think we're watching like Heart of Justice League or something, because at this point we watch all the Aquaman movies. We also watch Waterworld, which is the other name for our baby, and we're just like really trying to like
Waterworld.
figure out the name. We're like
Waterworld.
It's Aquaman.
Like, Aquaman is pushing it, but if she called that damn baby Waterworld... Waterworld, our other possible name. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
So then I had ice cream, and we had burgers at noon, and then I had ice cream at like 3 o'clock, which you're not really supposed to eat 8 hours before a C-section. And I was like, oh shoot, but it ended up working out. Literally at like 5 o'clock, I went to the bathroom, where I was just like laying in bed, and I went to the bathroom, and I felt the gush again, and I was like, okay, maybe that was just like, I don't know, maybe it was just like weird, you know, weird things happen during pregnancy. But I stood up, and it was leaking everywhere, and I called my husband, who was downstairs. I was like, I think my water broke. I'm texting my mom because just in case. Anyways, I stand up, I'm walking, the water is just everywhere. I mean, this is
Speaking of Waterworld, I do love the Waterworld show at Universal, so maybe she's onto something. Maybe.
Man trying to like stop the seas, okay? Like it was
Aquaman trying to stop the seas.
Gush, just water everywhere, just so much. I wanted to post it on like TikTok or Instagram, but I don't know, it almost looked just like, I don't know, because my dress is splashed, like my dress is stained. It almost looks like I peed myself or something, but the water was splashing for hours. So I was like, the water definitely broke. I called my doctor. My doctor's like, I'm out of town. I was like, no. And I love my doctor. He did the best C-sections, the best C-section scars, like, you know, the smallest incisions, just perfect, just easy, just casual. I was like, no, Dr. Grossman. But he's like, go to the hospital, they'll have someone there. I was like, okay. I go to the hospital, I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't know if I can't have my doctor.
I also can't imagine as well, like, forming a relationship with, you know, a doctor and then them not being the one that gets to deliver your baby. I feel like I'd be like, to the doctor, like, oh, who is you? To like the because I feel like that's such an intimate moment that you've been building up together.
I want this baby. We go to this we gave birth at a very small hospital. There's a lot of like fancy LA ones. We just never chose it for a variety of reasons. One, the first one was going to be just a vaginal birth where I just needed to get to the hospital as soon as possible, which again was this one. So,
oh yeah, I forgot the other name was Water Snake.
It was a few, like maybe 10 minutes from our house. We went right away this time. I mean, we did have to pack, and my mom luckily came over within 10 minutes. We threw everything in a bag in 10 minutes. We had the smallest hospital bag to date. We threw in the robe and like the clothes for baby Aquaman. Luckily, we had them washed. Like literally that day, we had them washed, and threw that in. And I was like, F it, like I'll just wear a hospital gown and that robe, you know. I'm just going as is. Like,
don't worry, you know that she still had that Aquaman baby suit.
And they were closed within like 10 minutes. And then it was like within 5 minutes. And her oldest daughter, Malibu, was like crying because she's like, I don't want you guys to go. She knows something's wrong. My mom's there. It's about to be bedtime, so I feel okay about it. But again, my mom didn't know the bedtime routine. And I was like, oh my God, because we have Elvis, who's 14 months old. Oh, 13 months, really. We have a baby at home, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh my God, the 3 under 3, and I was like very sad to leave. I was so emotional. I was like, oh my God, please, like, take care of my 2 kids. Like, I don't know, we just didn't have, you know, it just wasn't the plan, but we had to go in the car. My husband's like, we need to go right now. My water is gushing. I had the diapers like literally all by the stairs already, just for the aftercare. So I just put on a diaper and got in the car. It was still leaking everywhere. we're driving. I'm in pain. I always say I'm gonna film myself when I'm having contractions to like remember it, relive it, show the realness of it.
Sorry, someone wrote like a comment about Trisha, right? And I know the mods deleted it, but it's such an interesting comment. It says every time she has a baby, she runs away into her car to eat. Moses never gets a break. Okay, let's be so fucking for real. Trisha, Moses, let's take them out of the picture. Like, Trisha is doing so much more than he is. Like, the mother is literally carrying the baby for 9 months, going through hell for 9 months, and then gives birth, and then has to deal with postpartum. We have got to be easier on women, seriously. Oh my god, I sound like Hassan. We've got to be easier on women. No, seriously, we've got to, like, it's insane. I saw that comment and I saw it get immediately deleted because I know it would cause an uproar in the comments, but I could not acknowledge it. I feel like that's such an ignorant comment. Jesus Christ. You should see what I run off, and when, like, the limit for me to fucking run off and eat in my car. I don't drive. It actually takes a lot for me to eat in my car because I don't have one. But Jesus Christ.
I was like meditating, just clearing my head, doing literally
She's
whatever
like,
I could.
and people are throwing the tomatoes.
So we're driving and we just park a little emergency curb. It's after hours, I think. It must be like 6:30 at this point when we get there. 7.
Oh, I know they got charged
the
for
main
that
doors
after
were
hours.
like locked. So we go through in the emergency room and like,
What the fuck is going on? Still getting used to the noise, the sound of my neighbors. Okay. I don't know who's next door, but that fucking dog makes the weirdest fucking noises. Are they just like in the lobby? What the fuck? Bonnie is going to try kill that dog. God.
so they checked me in, all that stuff like that.
Nightmare.
I already had my paperwork done.
Bonnie is not good with
had
other
most of all
dogs.
my stuff done, so it was like okay. We get in there and they take us upstairs, and it's like all the same nurses that delivered Elvis. They like remember me. I was just there a year ago, and they're like, "Hey, welcome back." And I was like, "Hey, good to see you again." Wonderful, by the way. The nurses like were so wonderful. They were so sweet and just like really attentive and really wonderful and really great. Happened to be a busy Friday night at the OR because there was 2 emergency C-sections that happened before me that had to happen.
Imagine
before.
being the like doctors watching Trisha Paytas come in and knowing that the birth is like impending and being like, who's next? What celebrity? And then Trisha gives birth. You're the doctor, POV. You've helped Trisha give birth, right? Your phone pings. It's Google News telling you that Ozzy Osbourne has died.
For me, I guess like they didn't tell me, but I knew one was really, really stressful.
Killer Bonnie.
And I'm sorry, this coloring is like throwing me off. I think they changed, but whatever, it's fine. So I was like, oh, okay. And then the doctor came in.
Just finished work having a gin and tonic.
Chill guy. He was like really
Ooh,
chill
love.
vibes, and I was like, okay, I like it. I like a chill doctor. If you couldn't tell, it's like you're not worried. But now he performed 2 C-sections, 2 emergency C-sections before me. It's like we get there like 6:30 p.m., 7 o'clock p.m. I having crazy contractions.
I'm obsessed with 7 o'clock p.m.
Again, keep in mind that I'm 37 versus 34 when having this baby. I do think you can have babies at any age, and I think women have healthy pregnancies at any age. For me personally, I think like my body was literally like shutting down. Like it literally felt like it was shutting down because it wasn't just pain. I've been through the pain before. It was everything. I don't know. I'm not really a hypochondriac. I don't really have fear. I was like, I've done this before. To me, my previous birth seemed relatively easy. I was like, I'm good. The baby was healthy. I was like, everything's fine. But all of a sudden I started feeling like a heart, like my heart palpitations. Now, when you get the spinal tap, the anesthesiologist will have you up to like an EKG, like a heart monitoring thing. So they do monitor that. But I wasn't hooked up to any of that yet. So I was just like really nervous. I was like, it was the biggest I was when I delivered. I was like 265 pounds.
Adam is
when I delivered.
Adam is literally an old lady trapped in a young lad's body. I don't know if that's a drag or a compliment, but okay.
With Elvis, I think I was like 250, and I think with Malibu Barbie. I was like 245. So
Wait,
this
guys,
is, like,
please
my
like the
biggest. I was
stream as
really-
well. There's 1.5 of you watching and only 200 likes. Y'all are lazy as fuck. Lazy. Lazy people. Lazy. You're lazy. Lazy, lazy, lazy.
kind of worried about that. Just overall health. I wasn't really eating that last week because I was so out of breath, and I just started being like, I don't know, my body really felt like it was shutting down. It wasn't just the pain, the contractions.
So
felt
scary.
Like, this is it. But I couldn't think about that. I was like, I have 2 kids at home. This is where like the trauma part kind of kicks in, and there's a lot of, again, warning. There's like my baby's head gets cut at some point, and yeah, it can be a lot. So again, just hang in there, or don't hang in there. Skip it if you need to. But I really thought, I thought the worst, and I couldn't think that because I do think my mind is very powerful. I know people don't always believe this, but I do believe my thoughts are very powerful. And I was like, you cannot think this. You have 2 babies and you're going to get home to those babies. So what I kept thinking instead of like my body shutting down and this might be it, and this is why you're not supposed to have 3 C-sections, and this is why I shouldn't have kids at 37, just thinking of all the reasons why I shouldn't. I flipped that immediately as soon as I could and was like, okay, you're going to get home to your 2 girls. I was like literally visualizing their reaction to their baby brother. My parents were going to be home. My mom was there. My dad was there. We have someone who helps with our kids occasionally there. Like, everyone was going to be there. Everyone was going to be taken care of. Everyone's going to be excited to see this baby. And I just started visualizing that. I just started, sorry, I'm like trying not to like cry because it's I was really scared. And I remember thinking in that moment, like, there's no going back. And was I selfish for trying to have a 3rd baby? And you just start thinking the worst thoughts. And I was like, you just start thinking all these horrible things. So I just had to visualize coming home to my babies and them seeing their baby brother healthy and wonderful, and I'm healthy and wonderful. So that's where I went, and that's
I
where
think as well, like, not that someone needs to go through something like this for you just to like not like assume or talk about their birth or fertility or whatever. I think this makes it even weirder about what Ethan was doing, considering like how traumatizing the birth actually was as well. And he's like making like, she's lying about being able to give birth.
I flipped it pretty quickly, and that's all I kept thinking. And so I was able to like calm myself. The contractions were still painful. They actually gave me something to stop my contractions, but it didn't work. I was like, the contractions are still there. And they were bad, and they were painful, and it was fine. I was okay with the pain because now I was no longer convinced my body was shutting down. My body was failing me. I'm going to be a tragic story in childbirth. Because I also had to mute People, like People magazine. They had so many sad stories about just tragedies during childbirth, and like that stuff is, I know they have to, I don't know, it's like, should they report on stuff like that? It's just so sad, and I guess it's good for awareness, and that's why I'm making this video too, is like awareness of what could happen, prepare yourself. But I don't know, sometimes those things I couldn't see it because it was in my head, and it really messed me up. And I'm so lucky, spoiler alert, I'm so lucky that, you know, everything was okay with me and my baby, and we survived, because childbirth is life. It's risking your life. And
again, I agree with this point, and I just think it's really important for people to have conversations about how fucking dangerous it is to actually give birth, be pregnant.
It's crazy how many of us go through it and how many of us do it, and it feels very like normal, natural, and you're like, everyone does it, but there's complications, and it's like, it's something you do that you put yourself at risk knowingly, and you do it for your child, to have a child. And it is scary. It is scary. This was the first time I was scared. So there was no going back, and there's no going back at that point. So you just got to trust something. I don't know if you believe in God, believe in yourself, believe in your doctors, just trust something. I was choosing to believe in all of it. And yeah, the contractions didn't stop. We did the IV. The nurses remember my veins, me being so swollen they couldn't get to my veins. They're like, yeah, I remember last time we couldn't get it. And the same nurse who was the 3rd nurse to try to get it in my veins, got it this time. Anyways, okay, let's fast forward. Sorry, I'm like, so then the emergency C-section happening. Everyone's very tense at the hospital. Everyone is very tense. So like something really, they didn't say bad. They're just like, there's a lot of tension right now in the hospital. And I was like, oh my gosh. I go in to get my spinal tap at about 12:30 a.m. So again, we're there at 7 p.m. We thought, quick, an hour. We're gonna have this baby at 8 p.m. 7-Eleven. It was like 12:30 a.m. Okay, ready? Let's go get a spinal tap. And a spinal tap is just you, the anesthesiologist, my nurse, and God bless my nurse. I wish I could remember her name. I was in so much pain. I can remember. She was so sweet. She had 3 boys and a girl. She was wonderful. She was there for the birth of Elvis. I love you. I was like holding on to her. I was like hunched over and like holding on to her, and I just remember the pain of the epidural last time, but I was in so much pain that like honestly when he was done, they had me there like, okay, lay down. I was like, are you done? He's like, quick lay down, because we don't want to, I don't know, have you fall on your butt. I don't know what it was. So it was really fast, but and then I felt
medicine
relief. But then I started
incredible as
shaking uncontrollably, which didn't happen with my other C-sections. I am shaking. I'm like shaking once again. I think I'm a little more out of it now. I'm not as high as I was the first or second one. Even the second one, the next day I was like, ooh. I haven't felt any highness at this point. I do feel like being numb. You don't really feel it. They poke you and they're like, do you feel anything? I was like, no. Like, okay, you're good.
Adam, you used the 24-hour clock? Yeah.
I started shaking, and when you have a C-section, you're like this. You're like laying down. They're putting the thing, but your arms are here, and I don't know if they strap you down. They must, so you don't move. But I was like, I think I must have been going like this, like, don't do that, whatever. And I was just
they strap you down?
Myself. I was shaking. Moses isn't in there yet, and they're like, everyone's being prepared. The curtain is up, all this stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my God. And I'm shivering. I'm shaking. I'm like so awake, but also so tired. And the shaking was uncontrollable. I had uncontrollable shakes. I was freezing.
This is so scary.
Once again, I'm like, I don't know if my body is meant for this. Like I think I was like, I'm too lucky. I was too lucky. I was too braggadocious about having great health throughout my pregnancies, despite being overweight and not eating, a balanced diet or whatever. I just was like, no, it's catching up to me again. Because it was shaking, and I was just like, I don't know how this feels. This almost feels like it just felt kind of beyond me, where it wasn't even pain. It was more like fear. And I was just like, shit. And so anyways, trying to change my train of thought, I see Moses come in. I was like, thank God, because I see Moses and he's like concerned about me, and
also literally the thought. Megan said, I love you, Adam, but the Laura wall is not it. Well, womp womp, it took too fucking long. It's staying, babe. The fact of doing this or going through so much of this alone as well is so scary. It truly, oh my God.
Moses saves me. He saves me from everything. He brought me this sort of feeling of protection.
Club man, thank you for the donation.
Now, do I think Moses can always save me in this world? Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. He's just a human. But he saved my life, and he's saved me, and I looked at him and I said, okay, Moses is here, he's gonna protect me. That's how I thought. And I kind of stopped shaking, and I was just like, okay, we're ready. And literally within 5 minutes, cut to Moses outside. He said he was out there for like 30 minutes. He heard a code blue. He didn't tell me this until we got out of the hospital, but he heard code blue, which I didn't really know what that means. I've heard it, and we looked it up, and it meant someone's going to like cardiac arrest. And very few, it was like 5% of people who experienced code blue like survived their discharge out of the hospital. And it was so like, he told me that after, and it gave me chills, because there was this like, I hope everyone's okay. And I said that to the doctor. I said to everyone, like, I don't know the outcome. They're obviously not going to tell me if people weren't. I think everyone was okay. We're in the maternity ward. Everyone's getting emergency C-sections. And I just prayed. I prayed so hard for the moms before me, like even more than myself, because I just, you felt it. And while people were saying there was tension, it felt more than tension. It felt like fear. It felt like there was like this deathly ambiance in the hospital. I don't know how to describe it. It was a really scary feeling, and I hope everyone was okay, but it was really freaking me out. And then when he told me that after, he said everyone ran for code blue, and that's when I was in need to find out, but I didn't know. He didn't know what it meant either, and he's like, I didn't know if you were okay, and all that stuff. So that was happening at the same time, which kind of explains me my fear, my shivering, all that stuff. I don't know. Again, I pray everyone's okay.
It's like a baby that
the doctor came in and did mine.
Immediate medical attention, resuscitation.
Within 5 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
All in total, spinal tap, getting me ready. Perhaps it was like 30, 40 minutes. The actual, like, once Dad's in there, Moses in there. The baby comes out in like 5 minutes. Oh, sorry. We heard the baby crying. He's like, the next thing you're gonna hear is me crying. The doctor, he's like making a little joke. He's like, next thing you hear me crying. We heard the baby crying. I was like, oh my God, I love hearing that cry. He did say, oops, I nicked him a little. And look, again, C-sections are high-risk surgeries. Getting pregnant alone, you're risking life. You know what could happen. I'm so thankful for the baby being delivered healthy. I heard we nicked him a little. In my head, I'm thinking tiny little cut. Now, it was bad. Moses took photos, obviously the first life when he can get the umbilical cord and when they're doing the hat. They didn't really like bandage it up or anything like that. The hat had like just blood all over their little newborn hat.
Oh my God.
And he's like, are you gonna do something?
Also, I know we keep having conversations in terms of like the, people who are giving birth going through all this as well. I just like a huge round of applause for anyone that works in the maternity field, because I can't imagine how involved you are with stressful situations, life or death situations, and it's like, and the talent and genius behind being able to do what they do, and doctors and nurses. Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
Because the first hat was just blood. It was just blood, and I haven't seen him yet. And I'm like, he's over there for a little while. I was like, what is happening? What is happening? I guess when they brought him to me, he must have had like a little bandage over it or something. But it was like, originally they just put the hat on, and I saw it. It was just like blood all over the hat. Whew. And so then they brought him over to me, and I kind of didn't know the severity of any of it at the time. So he just had a hat on, and I was like, okay, he's fine. I mean, it was, so he basically had a laceration from here to here. It was from here to here, and it was an open wound. It was very much open wound. The doctor had told Moses, like, my uterine lining was so thin. The baby was basically out. Like, he was out. He was coming out, and my uterine lining was so thin, which can be very, very dangerous, which cut to why when I do my tubes tied video, was just kind of, I thought maybe I would regret getting my tubes out, because I didn't get them tied. I got them out, okay? So, and I had heard Kayla Lowry from Teen Mom said she kind of regretted her tubes tied, like instantly, and I was like, oh no. And I thought maybe I might have a little bit of that. But once this happened, and the uterine lining was like so thin, which is very like dangerous, and I was like, okay, I made the right decision. Again, I'm gonna get a whole story time about my tubes tied, because there's just so many layers to that, no pun intended, but there is. So
Girl.
They do ask you, well, again, it's a whole different video, tubes tied, because I was gonna talk more about that, but I'm gonna do a separate video because there's a lot. So for me personally, they just tied my tubes right after the C-section, and it took minutes. It wasn't that long. I was gonna say I didn't feel any different, but maybe I do, because I'm still feeling the pain a little bit right now, but it could be just the C-section. And he was great. Again, I'm thankful for the doctor. I say that because like I didn't know something like that could happen. The laceration, I guess it can happen. It can happen on their face. It can happen, like his was like on top of his head. There's still like a scar there. He cried a lot more than our other ones, but again, he was fine, and that's all I could have asked for.
Thank
so
God he was safe.
We were surprisingly awake. This was like 1:30 in the morning, and we surprisingly just stayed up. My other ones, I was pretty much out. I was high. I was like sleeping. This one, I'm pretty much up. We're pretty much on adrenaline. I maybe doze off for a couple hours from like 4 to 6 in the morning, and then like we're just up the whole day. I'm not really feeling high. I talk about my like delivery experience before, where I look at Moses and I'm like loopy, and I'm like, ooh. Now I can't feel my legs, which is kind of nice for the temporary, I obviously wouldn't want that forever, but it was you get a catheter, all that stuff. Like this time I felt the catheter a little more. I felt everything a little more. But it is kind
The
of
fact
nice
of going
those first-
through all this and then having to go through postpartum as well is absolutely fucking insane. Jesus fucking Christ.
12 hours, you're just kind of in this baby bliss, this baby bubble, and you're looking at your partner lovingly, and there's nurses taking care of you and him and the baby, and it's wonderful. And our room is very small. We're not in a luxury hospital. It's very, very, it's probably the smallest one I've seen on any TikToks or anything. I'm like, damn, people have really big rooms. They have fans. They don't even have like a cafeteria at this hospital. They think they gave Moses like a ham sandwich or something like that. But like even the coffee shops are like closed on the weekend. The gift shops are closed. There's like one and they're closed.
Why is there a
everything.
gift shop in the
So,
goddamn fucking
both times ours
hospital?
was on the weekend, Elvis and Aquaman. So afterwards, I
Hello?
said, I feel a little bit more of the pain, but more just tension than anything. I'm feeling more relaxed after this. I again feel very good about this being our last baby in the sense that it feels like our family's complete. A lot of people I see ask like, how do you know you're done? And a lot of people say, you'll just know. Like, you'll just know. Like, if you're thinking about wanting more, and like, yeah, maybe you get another one, maybe you won't, but they're like, when it's done, you just know. And I felt that. I felt so happy. I felt relieved. I felt relieved that I survived, that my baby survived, because it is a blessing to,
Oh, they sell baby gifts and stuff. Oh, you're right.
it's
They
a
sell
privilege
like
to survive
balloons and
childbirth
stuff
and
as
all, you know,
well.
it's-
You're right.
I was just very, very thankful. So
I was thinking of
I was
literally
it's
like
complete.
I Heart
Everything-
Hospital,
everyone is
I Heart
fine.
New York.
We got to discharge after 24 hours. They always check your hemorrhaging, and I've been, again, so blessed that my blood has been stable, that I've been able to pee right away. after the
Cards,
catheter
teddy bears,
comes out,
flyers,
that I can
balloons,
walk
prayer
around. Like,
stuff.
everyone always was like, I'm amazed. You just had a
Damn, they
C-section
gotta
and
make
you're, like, walking. I
money
was feeling bad
somehow,
about
don't
myself.
they? Fool.
The first one, I was having them do the water up me, everything for like 4 days.
I don't think
This-
there's
the
gift
last time I
shops
was like, I
in
wanna see
the
my
hospitals
kids.
in Derry.
And
I might be wrong.
I'm fine.
I
Now
don't
you
remember
get
that.
a stronger drug, obviously, in the hospital.
I feel like it's
when
very
you get sent
American.
home, you
I
either
might
get,
be
like,
wrong.
OxyContin, or you can take like Tylenol or Motrin or whatever. Motrin? Tylenol.
I Heart Hospital is crazy.
There's another one too. I don't know. So I did end up
Jesus.
taking OxyContin for the first 2 days after. Now that was really scary too, because OxyContin really is not good for me personally, for my body.
Oh.
I am very
Sorry, before I forget, I was supposed to do something. And the I Heart Hospital reminded me. Let me really quickly grab something and I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. So, ooh, Jesus. I was supposed to do this a couple days ago and I completely forgot. But whenever I was cleaning out all my stuff from America, I found a box of tote bags from the London show, I think. And now the I Heart Hospital has reminded me of the I Heart Muckers. I literally have, this is it. This is all I've got left of Chronically Online tour merch. And I want to give it away. Because, I mean, I don't want this shit. So I'm going to give it away. So the way that we'll do it is I'm just going to DM people. Do not DM me. Do not fill my DMs. That'll piss me off. I will DM people. I will literally just do it in a random fucking order. So what we'll do then, because it seems relevant, is I guess the only thing really will be from this moment until the end of maybe the week, I guess. Go to, probably this makes the most sense, the Adam and Neve podcast, Instagram account, me and Neve's podcast. You're right, I should give them to the mods as well. I'm not selling them. I'm not charging you for that shit. If I just have it sitting here, you know what I mean? It's not in like a merch booth or whatever. So go and follow the Instagram account for me and Neve's podcast. First episode on Thursday, Adam and Neve podcast. But just so I'm able to like know who's like wanting it, comment on this post. Comment something about the podcast. Don't just be like, I want tote bag, because I will block you. I'm kidding. Comment something, I don't know, just about the podcast or whatever. There's been no comments in a couple days anyway, so I will know where it's coming from. And then I will start reaching out to people. I don't know how many I have. I mean, there's at least 20 there. So wait, let me, and if you're already following, that's great. Okay, I've just commented it again. And then I'll go through that later. But yeah, I have a bunch to give out. And I also find my international stamps, so I'm able to send things internationally again. Yippee! I also do have Chronically Online tour t-shirts, actually. That's right. So anyways, yeah. go follow, go comment, and then by the time the podcast comes out, I'll start reaching out to people. Don't DM me about it. That's an immediate disqualification because the DMs are for people that are sending in advice things. But anyways, back to this.
Very shaky. I feel very out of it. I don't trust myself to hold my kids when I'm on Oxycontin. So we did have my family there. We had Moses, and we had extra help. Like if we're like out for a night or something, we had extra help there as well. So we kind of had all hands on deck because I really was like,
I'm obsessed with her being a full beat.
It's really important to me though, after each of my babies, that I hold my babies. Like I want to hold them. I've held all my babies for the first 2 weeks, just me. And so even on the Oxycontin, I was just like, I want to hold my baby. It was really important. So whether it was my mom sitting next to me or Moses sitting next to me or, you know, someone who helped us, like I wanted someone next to me, but I wanted to hold the baby. And that was just like, that's just important to me. This is actually like my first time not holding him. He actually sleeps in the crib really well. Our first two didn't. We co-slept with our first two. There's so much, no one will ever agree on co-sleeping or not. There's so many
skin to skin content.
Literally do your research, do what's best for you,
saying.
do whatever you think. I really don't share this much in general, especially like not on TikTok, because there's just too many polarizing comments and too much toxicity. I think it's important to be fully educated of all the risks, all the benefits.
True.
And you can totally make your decision. Some babies are great at sleeping in a crib, some are not. But Aquaman is very good at sleeping in a crib in our room, of course. We're all still in our room. The girls have never slept outside of our room. But he's really good. So we do put him down at night. But during the day, I let him sleep on me. I've always let
wearing that
my
damn
baby sleep
Aquaman
on
shirt.
me. So my biggest piece of advice postpartum is to ask for help. Our first baby, we did not have any help. And we were very adamant on doing it by ourselves. Not really asking grandparents to help, like come visit, come have fun.
Did Trisha speak up on Ethan? She spoke about her fertility all at the start.
And like I said, my husband is really great at it. He was a natural dad from the beginning. My first, I had a really bad postpartum depression and I was really overwhelmed. My second one was, to me, a lot easier. I got to like bond because I was more comfortable. And I had my mom, like I asked more for my mom's help and of course my husband too. So I felt a little more like supported. And then with this one, we had like all family on deck. We had an extra pair of hands as a caregiver and it just felt really supported. So I really felt the confidence. It's our third time go around. I don't know. It felt.
I'm also glad she's made the decision. Obviously, she knows her body the best to pull back.
Even if you don't need it, it's nice to just
on having any more kids, because that was a real,
especially Elvis and
close call, dude.
I was very, very scared and I was very depressed and I was sad and I couldn't really nurture her the way I wanted to with Elvis and Aquaman because I had the option of support around me. I don't know, just having that feeling made me feel better and I was able to do it more confidently and take care of my babies as babies. Everyone's labor and delivery story looks different. Everyone's birth story looks very different.
The girl sleeping in her room is a red flag. I'm gonna be honest, if I had kids, they'd probably sleep in my room too.
All three of mine were so vastly different.
I don't care if you're not supposed to.
The first is always, you have no idea what to expect. It sounds scary. It sounds all of that. I will say, even my scariest one, my third one, you just get through it. You just get through it because you don't know.
I heard hospital and I heard
ICU.
ICU,
I
guys.
I have a scheduled C-section. I've done this. I've had the spinal tap. I've had the epidural. I've done, I know the drill. But it was so completely different. The time of day was so completely different. Everything was so completely different. And you just roll with it. And it can be scary. It can be bliss. My second scheduled C-section, easy. Walk in the park. Walked in. I was like, boom, boom. Done, baby. Let's stare at each other's eyes. Woo, I'm loopy. We're great. Like, you just get through it. So whether this is your first pregnancy.
I think that's such a good point. Chloe, who, by the way, if you're a regular on here, you'll know Chloe. Chloe had her baby and Chloe was pregnant whenever I met her as well. So can we get some congratulations, Chloe, in the chat? Chloe wrote, mine sleeps in my room. They're only little ones. And I think that's so true.
And you're like scared by all these stories. Some people
also, I think we got to stop parenting for other people.
The baby falls out of them some people do natural home birth. They're just raw dogging it. And
I'm
just
surprised she
pushing it
didn't
out.
do a water birth for Aquaman.
And they're like, you know, everyone is very different. Everyone is very different. Every story is very different. I have so much respect for everyone in the medical field, whether it's the nurses and the doctors, the on-call staff. Like, they're amazing. They're amazing. And it's birth is traumatic, I think, for everyone involved, and they're really good at keeping you calm. And like I said, you kind of just get through it. And I wanted to make this while it was still fresh in my head, because I'm telling you, like, even my second and first ones, like, I do remember them very well, but it's hard to be back in that position. And even telling this third labor and delivery story, I think the trauma was so real that I don't even know I'm fully processed, if I can even remember the feeling exactly. I try to put
God,
into
this is
words
so
the best
scary.
that I could, the fear and stuff, but you do.
Water births do scare me as well.
Honestly, like, if it was up to me, I wish I could have 10 more kids. But after that, I was like, I think this is my sign. I think this is like, don't. Obviously, my tubes are out. So, yeah.
Obsessed with her being like, you know, when you don't want any more. You know, I'm at that point, and then she's like, I want 10 more. Who is she going to take out next? One by one.
I am 37 years old. I just had my third baby. Most of my life I have been overweight. All my life I've been overweight. And I say that because it is very possible to have a healthy pregnancy and delivery being overweight. I'm not trying to promote it, but I'm just saying I get a lot of people asking me questions about it. And I had never had gestational diabetes or any of that. And I say that because I think being big has the stigma that there could be health complications. I think there could be health complications with anyone. Yes, if you're big, you could have health complications. If you are, there's another person I follow, and they're super fit. They're into fitness, and you know, they had a health concern come up during their childbirth, and they're like, you know, I eat right and exercise. And I think I say that all that to say, and this person shared it very openly and vulnerably and truthfully, and I really admired her for that. All that to say, you could have your perfect body, you would have an imperfect body, and you just don't know. And it's kind of within the draw. I don't think anyone's body fails them. I don't think it's a sign, like, you know, nothing. I think it's like luck of the draw when it comes to medical stuff with the baby. Things just genetic,
life is
whatever comes up.
unpredictable as well.
And it's good to be aware of those things. I really appreciated her video because I wasn't aware, like, stuff like that.
I also think this video is incredibly important because I think, again, having conversations about the reality behind this is incredibly important. And also, I saw this thing recently where it was like more women over the age of, like, I think it was like 30 are having kids than people in their like teens, 20s. And there was like these like fucking like boomers in the chat being like, and I was like, number one, we should stop normalizing the pressure of like its normal trajectory in life to have kids. Number one, we live in such an economy where people struggle to take care of themselves because it's hard out here, that adding a kid on, why are we normalizing that? It was like when JD Vance was like, we need more kids. Oh God. So fucking weird. No, it will always be a man. It will always be a man saying it. It will always be a fucking man saying that women need to have more kids. How about you? I can't say that on here. How about? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And I think that people also like to suppress conversations around childbirth and around the dangers of childbirth because they don't want to put people off, because they do just want more people born, which I think is just incredibly dishonest and scary. So I really appreciate when people have conversations like this, specifically just after giving birth.
Again, kind of pick and choose if you're pregnant or you're about to give birth. Obviously at the end of this video, so you maybe watch all the way through, but kind of pick and choose what you can watch. My best piece of advice is those intrusive thoughts will
We
come
need
at you.
less
You
people.
will think about stuff while you're giving birth. Is this happening to me? I thought about my heart because I watched another YouTuber's video about her heart condition during childbirth. That's why my head went to immediately there, which is fine. She was sharing her story, but when my head went there, I had to immediately change directions and reroute it, my brain and what I was visualizing, because again, not everyone thinks this. I do believe our thoughts manifest things. For me personally, it's not everybody. Maybe it's not real. But
Club
for
man,
me,
thank you.
I was just like, let me visualize.
Good night. Oh my God,
something.
time
And to me,
zones.
that was the end goal: getting my baby out, getting my baby home, and my kids meeting my baby. So, we have them, Malibu, Barbie, Elvis, and Aquaman. They are all here. I'm
Crazy
so...
lineup. Who is it again? Queen Elizabeth. The Pope? No. King Charles? No. It was Elvis. But anyways, and then the Pope. And Ozzy Osbourne.
So thankful. These will be the best 3 years of my life. Being pregnant for 3 years, it was the best. I was so happy. I've never been happier. I love being pregnant. I've never felt guilt for eating or sleeping. I'm going to carry that throughout my life now. I am being kinder to my body. My body is a freaking miracle. It's done literally acts of God, in my opinion. I love my body. I cherish my body. My husband loves the aesthetic of my body. I love the aesthetic of my body. Will I walk and do activity to be healthier and have more energy for my kids? Absolutely. Am I going to restrict myself and be crazy and diet? No. My body's amazing. My body accomplished a lot. My body's beautiful. I'm breathing. I'm not going to feel guilty for eating. I'm not going to feel guilty for sleeping or resting if I need to. I'm not going to feel guilty for asking for help in life. And I'm going to keep that going. So that's one thing I'm thankful for. Childbirth is showing me that I don't have to feel guilty for any of that. I am also just thankful for my kids. I'm thankful I got to experience it. It was the one thing I wanted in life, is to carry and to have kids. And I'm thankful. Honestly, I was thankful with one, and to have 3, it feels like just a bonus. Hit the jackpot, 777s or 888s in my case, because I love an 8. So, yeah, thanks guys for being on this journey. Thank you guys for all the support and love. It's really cool that people care so much about my health, my well-being, my children, and we're just doing the best we can. To all the parents out there, you're doing a great job. It's not easy. Parenting is not easy. Childbirth, my doctor had told me from the beginning, he's like, oh, childbirth, no big deal. It's raising the kids. That's where the hard part comes in. And yeah, you raise your kids, but it is so much work, and it's a lot, and I worry constantly about them. That's all I do is worry. And I'm constantly like, okay, you just worry. I think for the rest of your life, you're just worried about kids. But the love and the joy and the pureness and the laughter you get in exchange is just so beautiful. And I'm thankful for every single day I have with them. And I'm thankful I got to share my journey with you guys here on YouTube. I am, like I said, it's the happiest time of my life. So I'm happy I got to document it. I'm happy you guys could see. I always say the number one thing about YouTube is I'm thankful that I got to show a journey with mental health, from crying on the kitchen floor to sitting in my Mercedes.
Okay, let's talk about this. Whoa, I always get crazy ass background. Again, I'm happy that everything went well with the pregnancy. It was obviously incredibly risky, and she knew that. And I think her openly talking about the fact that it was risky was also very important, so people do know that this is risky, and then these subsequent things can and will happen. Not to take it to this place, because I do want to focus on, I'm happy for her and all the rest, but it does just kind of put it into perspective when you hear her talk about how traumatizing the birth was, how scary it was, and then you see the uncle online on the day the birth is announced, ripping her to shit for allegedly lying about not being able to get pregnant. Who cares? I'm being so honest. In that moment, who cares? Thank God her and the baby survived. Is that a crazy take? Is that genuinely a crazy take? No. Not at all. So, thank God. And again, I will always just double down on pregnancy, birth, postpartum, all of it, as someone who will never experience it, and thank God. It's just people are so just ignorant to actually how fucking intense it is, and people don't talk about it enough. People really don't talk about it enough. So anyways, I'm gonna head off because I need to get ready, because I'm going to see my friends soon. I had so much fun. It is so great. We are officially kicking off streaming again in Brighton. I am really, really, really excited to be streaming again. And again, for these tote bags from Tur that I'll be giving away, all you need to do is follow the Adam and Neve podcast Instagram account and comment on the photo just something relating to the podcast. And by the time the podcast comes out, I'll start DMing people. Do not DM me first. I will DM you. Do not fill my DMs. The account is right here. I've pinned it and commented it. Yeah, good luck. I have a bunch to give away. And again, it was so much fun. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to my mom for being here. Thank you to chat. Hopefully be on again very soon. I'm looking at doing daily streams again, and I will see you all very soon. I'm gonna love and leave.